myself Sanjay Jaiswal, and I welcome you to the first episode of Teaching History for Class 12th. Understand what is history? Why should we study history? As you all know that history is a subject of social sciences, and according to NCF 2005, social sciences provides us social, cultural and analytical skills so that individuals can adjust themselves to an increasingly more independent world and deal with social and political realities. This is a general perception that history is a subject of date and events. It is the story of kings and wars. But my dear friends, this is not so. History provides us knowledge of the various societies and their behavior in regard with the various events, and thus it gives us knowledge which provide us the base to strive for excellence in the future. Now let us understand the Indian history. The archaeologists have traced back the Indian history to around 40,000 years back. But before we proceed further, let us first understand who is an archaeologist. An archaeologist is the person who studies about the ancient materials. As I told you that archaeologists have traced back the Indian history to around 40,000 years back, when almost in every part of the world the men were basically hunter and gatherers, and then by 4000 BCE they learned to grow crops, and thus an era of agriculture started. By 2500 BCE they finally settled in the Indus River Valley. Now we will discuss about the Indus Valley civilization. The Harappan people, what they ate and what were their economic activities. The archaeologists have named this period as Indus Valley civilization. But first, let me tell you why this civilization is called as Indus Valley civilization. All the settlements of this period found in the valley of river Indus, and that is why it is called Indus Valley civilization. You know why? Because Harappa was the first site to be excavated. This civilization is also known as Harappan culture. Now let us move ahead and understand what is the difference between culture and civilization. Archaeologists use the term culture for a variety of objects having distinctive style and found in a specific region. For example, in Harappa, we have found so many objects like seals, beads, weights and stone blades, and these all objects were distinctive in their style and specific to a particular region of Harappa. So that is why it is called Harappan culture. And if the same objects are found in a larger area, then the culture becomes civilization, and that is why it is called Indus Valley civilization. Indus Valley civilization is located in the northwest of India. Most of the Indus Valley civilization sites are found nowadays in Pakistan. The circular part shown in the map is the area of Indus Valley civilization. The material sources the archaeologists have found to study the Harappan civilization are bricks, beads, bones, seals and many other materials, and that is why this chapter is termed as bricks, beads and bones. Now we will study about the food habits of Harappan people. Harappan people ate variety of grains like wheat, barley, sesame, millets and so many other grains. But how could the archaeologists come to know what they ate and how did they live? How could the archaeologists know that what grains the Harappan people were eating? My dear friends, this has a very simple answer. In the Harappan houses, so many grains were found, especially in their kitchen. We have also found godowns or granaries where they used to store their grains. Harappan people also ate variety of animals like goat, sheep, pig, boar, gharial, deer and so many other wild animals. They also used some of these animals for drawing milk. Now, again the same question arises. How do you know that they were eating these animals? Actually, archaeologists have studied the bones of the animals and the indication shows that they were killed or hunted and also they were domesticated. The archaeologists have also studied the bones and skeletons of the human body and they have given an indication that the sharper the front teeth and the bigger jaw, this is a clear indication of the man being non-vegetarian. But we are not sure that Harappan people themselves killed these animals or they obtained meat from the other communities, as we nowadays buy meat from the shopkeepers. So it may be possible that even Harappan people were buying meat from the shopkeepers. We have also found saddle and cones. You know, nowadays it is known as atta chakki. You must have seen in your locality or nearby your house. These saddle cones were made up of stones. Archaeologists have also found curry stones, which is nowadays commonly known as silbatta. This silbatta was used for grinding spices and herbs for making curry in Harappan civilization also, as well as even today we are using for the same purpose. Now we know that Harappan people were eating various grains. So the question arises, did they produce themselves these grains or they gather it from the forest? Archaeologists have found many evidences such as wooden plough, bull and cart, toy cart, and even they have found ploughed fields. Even ploughed fields have been found at Kalibagan in Rajasthan, which have two sets of furrows. It shows that two crops were grown together in the same field. Now we will talk about agricultural technology. What technology they had for doing agriculture? They use various tools, for example axe, sickle and blades. All these instruments were fitted in the wooden handle. For irrigation, the Harappan people had developed canals. We have found some remains of canals at Shortughai in Afghanistan. Harappan people also had natural and artificial water tank where they used to store the rainwater and later on they use it for irrigation. Even today, irrigation is being done through canals in North India and through tanks in Deccan. Granaries at Harappa and Mohenjo-daro have also been found. What is the use of this granary? You must have heard the name FCI, Food Corporation of India. What does this corporation do? It actually collect and procure the food from the different parts of India and store it at various places in our country. Similarly, the Indus Valley people also used to store the food. How did they do it? Actually, the government collect the taxes of surplus goods and store it in these granaries. Harappan people were the first people to use cotton for clothing. Their dresses were made up of cotton, but they were not tailored as it is done today. They were also wearing various jewelries made up of gold, silver, copper, beads and stones. Now let us understand their houses and town planning. You will be surprised to know the various facts of their town planning, which is even today we are practicing. Now we will discuss about the town planning of Mohenjo-daro. Mohenjo-daro has two parts. One is known as Citadel and the other part is known as Lower Town. Citadel is smaller in size but built on a raised platform. Lower Town was larger in area and all the houses of this Lower Town was built on a platform. The Lower Town was also walled from all its four sides so that it could be separated from the Citadel. All the houses were built on raised platform and with sun-dried bricks. If we study the domestic architecture of the Harappan houses, you will be surprised to know that there was a courtyard in each and every house, and this courtyard was the center of all the household activities such as weaving, cooking and so many other activities. And one more thing which is very interesting, that no one could have a direct view of the courtyard from the entrance. All the rooms were built around the courtyard. The Harappan houses were having 2 to 3 stories, and to reach upper stories, staircases were built. And at the ground level, the walls were not having any window to maintain the privacy of the house. Each house of Mohenjo-daro had a separate bathroom, and the drainage system of this bathroom was well connected to the main drainage system of the street. You will be surprised to know that Harappan people were very much aware of their health and hygiene, and that is why they were having covered drains throughout their city. Each house in Lower Town was having a well in their outer room, and this outer room was opened from both the sides so that any passerby could come and drink water. All the roads and streets were built on grid pattern. The roads were cutting each other at right angle, and it seems that street and drains were first laid out and then houses were built along with them. This was a clear indication of the planning of the town. Now we come to the second part of the town planning of Mohenjo-daro, which I told you was known as Citadel. Citadel has all the public buildings, and it seems that this part was actually the administrative block of the Harappan civilization. We have found many public utility buildings and places in the Citadel, like a pillared hall, the great bath, the granaries and so many other palaces. Great bath was a rectangular tank which had staircases in 2 of its sides, one in north side and other was in south side. It also had rooms on all its 3 sides. The staircases which was built in great bath were actually fixed with the help of gypsum, and it was made watertight. These staircases were made up of sun-dried bricks. The uniqueness and the context of which this great bath has been found, that shows that this structure was used for some specific ritual bath. So, today we have studied about the Harappan culture, their food habits, the difference between culture and civilization, their irrigation system, their agricultural practices. We also know that Harappan people had well-planned city. We have many evidences to prove that they had a planned town. In the next class, we will study about the Harappan trade and commerce, their religion, and how did this great civilization finally come to an end.